that you went away.
Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Andra. I make commentary videos on pop culture and media. Sometimes it's influencers, so this is the case today. This is an influencer I've never heard about, but this is a topic that I'm very passionate about, to the point where I wanted to make like a documentary length video about how people from the Western countries, like mainly America, the UK and Canada, travel to other countries and act in a very disrespectful manner. I think everybody from any background can do that, but I think it's endemic within these cultures that they do that. So the influencer in question is Adelaine Morin. She went to Bali and she made some very insensitive comments. First of all, she talks about coffee and says that the coffee is made out of shit, which I will show you the response that she got from someone who is local to Indonesia, to Bali, and explained how you make that coffee. To be honest, I don't know if I would drink it, because I'm a very like squirmish person about like certain things, but I would not mock it, because I think that's so stupid. Obviously it's hygienic. If people are drinking it, then it means it's fine. The second comment that she made was about getting Bali belly, which apparently is a term for now when you get like food poisoning in a country. Obviously in Bali, in this case, in this part of Indonesia, they have their own term, but there are other countries and other regions that are associated with that. I don't know if Indonesia overall is or just Bali, but I do know there are places such as India where if you go on holiday, people will warn you about food poisoning and about different like diseases in the food, and I think that that is partially yes down to racism, and I think it's a problem. I think you can get food poisoning from everywhere. I've got food poisoning in the UK, I've got food poisoning in my home country of Romania, and I've got food poisoning from food at home that I know is cooked under good conditions. So I don't think that this term should exist. And I'm gonna let this person speak because she explains so much better than me.
In Bali. And yes, they literally make coffee out of actual shit.
Okay, I hate the way she's framing this as shit coffee, so I'm gonna talk about it here. First of all, kopi luwak or luwak coffee is coffee made from beans that have gone through the digestive system of a luwak, which is some kind of ferret. Basically, the reason why it's supposedly so good and better than other coffee is because these ferrets or these luwaks have a great sense of smell, and this sense of smell enables them to seek out the best coffee beans on a farm. Because of that, all the coffee beans that go through their digestive system is obviously the best of the best. Additionally, luwaks have a really simple digestive system, which means that these coffee beans are almost intact and in like perfect condition because they have this simple digestive system that literally doesn't do anything to the beans. Of course, before processing it into a drink, it is obviously sanitized, clean, whatever you want to call it. Like even regular coffee beans go through a string of process after it is harvested, so obviously beans from shit would be processed in the same way and even at a higher standard because it comes from shit. So it's super ridiculous that you're being disgusted by it and acting like it's unhygienic. Second of all, I take full offense on how she regards this as shit coffee and makes it seem like Indonesia is a freaky land with unhygienic food and drinks. She also made a video about how she got Bali belly, which is basically food poisoning, and suddenly blamed it on this shit coffee. See, I get why Bali can be like really enticing to foreigners and tourists, but if you're just gonna come here and make videos on how we drink shit coffee and how our food is unhygienic and you can get Bali belly, best that you stay out of Bali, babe. Like, don't come back ever. Experiencing all culture, including the food and drinks, is part of the experience, and if you can't respect that, I don't think you should be traveling anywhere.
So after this, Adelaine posted an apology.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say that I'm having such an amazing time in Bali so far. It's so beautiful here and everyone that I've come across is so nice here. The last thing that I want to do is offend anybody. I never would have any malicious intent, which is why I wanted to talk about two things. Number one is I noticed people were getting upset over me calling my diarrhea Bali belly. People were saying that I'm making Bali sound dirty or, you know, my immune system is weak, which it is. My doctor was actually the one that told me about Bali belly, and they prescribe medications and you can look at it online. I just heard it from my doctor and I've seen it online, so I didn't even think about it, so I'm very sorry about that. You know, I would never want to make Bali sound dirty when it's such a beautiful island. And the second thing that I wanted to touch on was the luwak coffee. One of our guides called it poop coffee. He was explaining how the coffee is made and how it's the most expensive coffee in the world. They even have excursions like poo hunters where you can like learn all about the luwak coffee. So again, I'm really sorry if you got offended from that. I love the culture here in Bali. I love all the foods here in Bali, and especially the coffee. The coffee is so amazing here. I hope that this clears everything up, and I hope that you guys know that I would never have any malicious intent and that I love the island. But yeah, thanks for hearing me out, and I hope that you have a good day.
So in my opinion, this apology is pretty decent. It's not for me to accept because I'm not affected by these comments. So that's what I'm gonna start with. In my opinion, her doctor is probably a bit racist, and that's an issue because if she says her doctor used this term, as a doctor, I think it's unprofessional to use such terms when I'm sure there is a medical term for the type of whatever she got, diarrhea, food poisoning, whatever. There is already a medical term for it, so you don't need to invent this kind of terms as a doctor. That's my thought about it. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's good. There are slurs on the internet, so you can say that I've seen it on the internet, so it must be fine. No, you have to do some critical skills, have to think about it. Yes, maybe you didn't know, maybe your intentions were good. The impact was negative, and I think that from how she's speaking, she knows and she won't do it again. About the coffee, if the guide used the term poop coffee, I think it was to be controversial and to kind of do, you know, like outrage marketing, let's call it that, to make it more mysterious so that people will be tempted to try it because it's something weird, and because of that, people will be like, oh my god, I want to try this so that this can be a story that I'll tell my children in like 20 years. So this is the mindset, I think, of the guide. I think it's different when the person who is local says that, because if I shit on my culture, then it's my problem, but if you shit on my culture and you're not from it, then I'll get pissed off. So I think that there is a line to draw between like when a foreigner says something and when a local says the same thing. There are different nuances to that kind of stuff. I think her apology was pretty good. It's something that I don't see much. I think she genuinely likes the place, and her TikToks to do with like her travel have been very wholesome from what I've seen. And I think other than these things, in many regards, she's advertising the place well. But again, this is not for me to forgive. Especially if you're Indonesian, don't take this as me like speaking over you, because that's not what I'm intending to do. I'm just trying to just kind of analyze this like YouTube science of like apologies, or social media rather, not just YouTube because this was TikTok. I just think it's fascinating, this culture of like cancellations, apologies, accountability, whatever, and I like to discuss it. So that's solely what this is. This is not me accepting the apology. This is me saying that I think she probably learned from this mistake based on how she's acting. I don't know her. Maybe she's a good actress. I don't know. This is not someone I've watched prior to this situation, so I can't speak for sure. This is just my thoughts on the moment. Like this video if you like it, comment down below, subscribe for more commentary videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Ever since the day that you